It's time for an update on a renovation we've been following since day one. Originally a 3-unit rental property, this place is now being re-envisioned into a gorgeous single-family home. Mike has the latest developments of the project, so let's take a look.
As you can see behind me, the crew has been very busy the last couple of weeks. We have framed in the entire rear addition and all the new openings that are taking place. As you can see on the second floor, the span has been opened up from side to side, supported by an LVL. Multiple LVLs, that is. Now the 2x4s in place are actually temporary structures just to support the OSB or the temporary plywood to close up the house at the end of the day. They're not going to be there at the end. That's going to be windows from side to side. The main floor is temporarily closed in just for site protection. The third floor roof deck is also now in place, as you can see, with a waterproof membrane that has now been installed. Therefore, the house has been sealed from all the elements and we can continue our work inside. One of the challenges on the main floor framing was the fact that the existing foundation was a little not level. So what we ended up doing was removing several layers of bricks to come down to the existing foundation, and then we poured on top in concrete, as you can see, around the entire base perimeter. And I don't know if you can tell, but this is getting bigger as we get to the corners. Now the reality is the entire foundation from side to side across 20 feet was out over 6 inches. So we poured concrete from the existing foundation all the way around the perimeter level. So when we put in the bottom plate, we were level. So when we start building, everything is true.
Wow, things are really coming together. The back of the home is now completely rebuilt with new framing. So Mike, what should a homeowner know about framing a house?
Well, Tracy, there's tons to know about framing a house, but in a major renovation like this, when we're building out the rear addition, it's framed in 2x6 lumber to create a cavity deep enough for the insulation. And the interior walls are all framed with 2x4. Now, the exterior framing portion is clad with 1/2-inch plywood, and then Tyvek, which is the initial air barrier, and that's installed to kind of initially waterproof the home. After the windows and doors are installed, we also add a rain screen before the final cladding goes on. This particular project, that final cladding is going to be wood.
Okay, so what is the next step on the exterior?
Typically, at this stage, we're planning the windows and doors. So we're currently in the midst of creating and finalizing that order. But it's a very lengthy process and a very custom order. So the front elevation, we're going to use double hung windows to kind of marry with the street. But the back, because the windows essentially run side to side and the doors are very oversized, this is a very custom order, and it has to be measured down to the millimeter, and it takes time to work out those details after the framing is in, and then it has to be verified on site by the company that's providing that product. And we're almost at that point and ready to sign off. Now, after that's complete, there's still another 6 to 10 weeks before those windows and doors show up on site. Now, after they're on site, that's fantastic, we're airtight. They go in, we begin the insulation, but up until that point, we move into the inside and begin that framing.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, my goodness, timing is such a dance when you're doing a renovation like this. So what is the priority right now?
Well, currently, it's signing off on those windows, which will be done before the end of this month. And then we'll have those in not too far into the new year. Now, the inside begins the framing, so those are the interior partition walls and the exterior wall framing first. Now, that's an extensive process in itself. As we begin to form the bedrooms and the hallways and the bathrooms, there's a lot of back and forth. Even though the architect has designed plans, we do, preliminary walkthrough as that's coming together for minor changes that inevitably take place on any project.
I am so impressed. I can't tell you how invested I am in this house, and I'm not even moving in. So good for you, Mike. Nice work.
Thanks, Tracy. Can't wait to show you the finished product.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for the update, Mike. It's going to be absolutely beautiful.